Computer. Lights.
Good morning. Good morning and happy Monday. And here we are on Monday trying to get our world together. Notice that my camera was tilted way over here all of a sudden. It's like it creeps over the duration of the week. There we go. Get it lined up better. I like it when it looks over because then I can kind of come over here and we're doing commissions today. Probably going to do commissions most of the week. We can get everything open and loaded here. So we'll get started on things. So we're going to be doing commissions today. Okay, so we've got a job, and I'm curious about this job. So we've got a job requested by a buddy who wants artwork done in ancient Greek art style. I've always kind of wanted to dip into ancient Greek art. So this is going to be a nice change of pace for us. But he wants sketches first. So we're going to do a sketch first. I'm going to give myself a new platform here. 11 by 11 at 300 DPI seems like it. No, we're going to do maps later. Just for you. No, actually, you're right. So here we go. So what we're looking for is he wants something in the style of the ancient Greek art, the stuff that's on like various kinds of. I'm actually looking at them on here and trying to kind of get. Oh, things on Pinterest really are irritating because there's like no way out. You can't go to the web page and I need a close-up of some of this artwork. It's hard to see. Yeah. Ancient Greek, not Middle Greek. Although, I mean, there's, I'm sure a lot of, okay, fine. You're not helpful. Ancient Greek has more of the pottery line work and things like that. So we're trying to look for pottery. Right, so we're looking, I'll even take the Achilles. I just need to find things in high resolution. Like everything is so small, and I'm like, it's not like this stuff is copyrighted, you know? There we go. But even that's not high enough. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It's in fact exactly what I'm looking for. So, okay. And you're like, what are you looking for, guy? It's all right. Don't worry about it. I just need to save this to our folder for him. There we go. Okay. Now I'm looking at Penthesilia. I don't know. I'm just working here, man. All right. Penthesilia. I don't know. Penthaholics. I don't know. Synthaholics. All right. So we will take and we will open Achilles' heel in Penthaholics. Okay. So this is the style we're working with at this point in time. So, which actually, this is a pretty stellar and awesome piece, although he's looking like totally. Can we? Hi. What happened here, huh? Oh, we've decided to move it to it. Boy, I'm having problems today. Anyway, yeah, his eyes are looking like right here. He's like, dude, look at this awesome scroll work you have on your outfit right here. Like, totally awesome scroll work, right? I don't know what's going on. I don't have control. It'll come back in a minute. There we go. I don't know what that is. But that's starting to drive me crazy. I am now having these stops where Clip Studio Paint, I will switch to a different tool and it will stop for 30 seconds. And I'm not kidding, it's 30 seconds. So I'll be drawing a line, then all of a sudden there's a 30-second wait. And if I do anything, it'll do all the things I did in that 30 seconds. So if I sit there and go, what's going on? Then all of a sudden, 30 seconds later, it'll go and just draw a whole bunch of lines. And it'll be like, great. Okay. So we're dealing with a guy named Laocoon. In the Great Cycles, he did all kinds of interesting things. Oh, yeah. Ooh, Humble Bundle is doing a painter, Corel painter, huh? Wow, there's some good stuff in here. Might actually kind of go for this. Which includes Video Studio? Huh. Interesting. Okay, so we're doing a guy named Laocoon. Laocoon was apparently in the cycles, from what I'm gathering. He was a Trojan priest who told the Trojans not to bring the Trojan horse into the city. Right? So he was the guy that's like, hey, that's like totally wrong. Trojan horse, stupid stuff. So we're going to do Kraken. We're going to get Kraken on this. All right. Look, I think this is funny. I think ultimately, be sort of a thing like so. So all I'm doing here is just giving him a sketch. He wants a sketch first. which is totally cool by me. I don't got no problems with that. I'm going to do it in black, though. Okay, so kind of looking at it here, we're going to say, looking at this, we've got kind of Greek style. Looks like it's got a lot of really good solid anatomy. Like the anatomy is really, really solid, but the perspective on it is totally flat. So like if I were to take my camera and put it to 700 millimeters and shoot this picture, which would make it absolutely freaking flat, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that at all. So looking at some of the other artwork, because this is going to be us when we are much, much closer. I kind of like the Homer Achilles sort of thing where Homer is like, oh God. So I'm going to try to find some artwork where they're oh godding. Please don't kill me, Lotzley. Because I want him to be, a priest dying of whatever. And there's a lot of things connected to Achilles, huh? So looking around here, we've got Phoenix. Phoenix is the tutor of Achilles. I learned that in the movie 2010. So I think what I'm going to be looking for is we're going to be taking, I'm trying to find somebody who's like getting slaughtered here. Right? Because like you want that sort of thing, I mean, he's getting eaten by a kraken. Anybody getting eaten by a kraken is cool, All right. Kind of looking around for it. Yeah. I think I'm going to go for the Homer and Achilles thing, right? Maybe I can find something different here, huh? Ancient Greek pottery dying. Kind of trying to get the style of what it's taking to get people who are, getting killed off a lot, dying a whole lot. Kind of looking for a specific kind of pose here. Because I know what I know what I'm seeing in my head, right? Well, you know what? We've got already, it's loaded. Some Plato, huh? Okay, guys, here's your nudity warning, or at least nude maquettes. And bring up this, because I know I've got some kind of. We were using maquettes earlier for new people. Genesis 2 male. And we will crunch these numbers. There we go. Delete her. Zoom back out. Okay. Kind of looking for straining, like pulling back sort of thing. So let's bend in this arm, right? Like so. We'll twist it. And give perimeters, hands, pose controls, grasp. Right, so we'll twist this hand like so. And the thing is, we want to bring this arm up, right, like that. Arg, arg, arg. Twist it this way because he's like, ah, right. And then we'll pull his head the other direction, because that's what happens when you like pull things away from you. Yeah, he's directing traffic at this point in time. Go this way, that way, that way, that way. Traffic directing. Right. Pull that back. I mean, because like if I can see this pose in my head, might as well just pose him, right? I mean, there's you can see how I'm like now distressing his body, right? And so he's like, ah, you know. And actually, we should put his face in pain, shall we? Yeah. Like so. Right? Oops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. No control over that. You're cracking. You got me. And just I'm not gonna lie, this would be a fun pose to deal with in not Kraken land. Right? Move along. Move along. Nothing to see here. Move along. Move along. Move along. So again, we'll take the camera, and this is where we're going to do the things, right? The focal length on here, we're going to end up zooming way in, because I'm not kidding whenever I say 500 or so on the focal length. This is more like what you see in Greek artwork, right? See how flattened out this is now? And now I can correct his legs so that they go in the right direction. Arg! I am being eaten by a kraken. Right? Because the anatomy in this is, like I said, they've got their anatomy solid. So I don't have to worry about this that much. Right? So now we'll take and we'll use our special control that I just learned. That's so funny because I'm like chuckling at at Kundi for his thing, going, ha ha ha, Kundi, that's a really cool thing, but why would I ever use it? And Kundi was absolutely spot on. Okay, so we're going to look at this here. And let's think about this pose, right? So here's what's going on here. So we'll put him here. Thanks. Put him here. All right. Let's give ourselves a new raster layer. And since he wants a sketch, we don't want to go very complicated in this. I don't want to get too far into this because he may say, no, that's not what we want. And that would be fine. And that would be totally cool. Right? I need to get the robes correctly. This is probably more accurate for the robes. Thanks. Wow. We will save this because it's Phoenix, the son of, or the tutor of Achilles, which works. Bring up the tutor of Achilles right here. We'll take a look really closely at what we have here. So let's go ahead and get in here with the pen, right? We're going to take a technical pen and let's get in close. So looking at the way that Greeks do their artwork, we can start here by putting, I don't know why, but it seems like they don't have right. So they do sort of a physicality sort of thing on the beards. So they're kind of like this. Right? With a line to indicate there, a line to indicate the outside, and they like to bring the ear back in. Weird. But okay, you know what? Hey, Greek. And the noses are always straight like so. Unlike here, where we're going to do that, and then do this, and then this, right? And we're looking at the top of here. I'm going to do this and this, right? Like this. And give him a very defined, straight sort of look. And I think when we were talking about Laocoon has a lot of hair. Actually, it looks like Laocoon's being killed by his children in the actual sculpture. So, there you go. Always a thing. And we're actually going to have to go back in and fix this. Because Laocoon himself is super curly haired. We're actually kind of in two different eras on this because Laocoon actually doesn't exist in this ancient era. So I'm going to have to do improvising on this. So we'll do it like so. Just matching the style, right? And actually, we're going to go back over his beard because the beard is also in this style. Though probably not as much here. Like that. And we'll go like this because he's not happy. Right? Ah. Okay, now let's look back at the Phoenix picture that we have up. So right now we have Bray's Phoenix, Breeze, I don't know. Somebody knows this person's actual like phone number or whatever. So if we look here and we look at the eyes here, right? Even her eyes. It's simple. Right. So we're going to I also one of the things I love about Greek artwork is the "Oh God, I'm being killed" looks that they always have. Like their lids are always half closed. Oh no, I'm being murdered. So we're gonna go there. We're totally going there. Oh God, she was murdered. Oh no, not again. Perfect. Okay. Now we have this Greek dude being killed a lot. I did, but not as much fun as drawing the Greek dude getting killed. And a lot. Yes, I had fun at FanX. Okay, we need to bring up Phoenix's pot here, or Phoenix's plate. So, okay, this is Phoenix's plate. We're looking at this because of the robes, right? So that's what we're really looking for here is the robes. And yeah, I had a lot of fun at FanX. I mean, we were only there for like some of the day on Sunday, but it was pretty cool. Okay, he's got a headband. So let's make sure we have Fan Expo was cool. I mean, I'm feeling kind of like Fan Expo was markedly down, like way fewer people. Yep. Very drapey. So we look at Phoenix. He's got all of these sort of things going for him. So we'll do the same thing over here. I have sort of a pin to hold this on, right? And we're just going to drape the heck out of this. Right, we're going to how detailed are the hands? Woo, look at that. Like super detailed. And we've gone into Greek tentacle porn. Here we go. We knew it was going to happen somewhere along the line. I feel like they gave super traps to these guys. Like they had massive traps, right? And everybody in Greece just worked the heck out all the time. Even the old people were like, you know. Hands are one of the key reasons that I use maquettes, right? And which is funny because here I am improvising. I'll bring this. Yeah. So okay. So they've got kind of a droop that goes like this, and a droop that goes like this, and a droop that goes like this, and then there's another one that goes like so, and so, and so, and so. All right. So we'll do that. And like I said, I want to sketch this, so I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is a sketch. But we want to give him enough of an idea of what's going on. Well, and then we will. The Greeks loved folding things. I kind of wonder if there's like a Greek artisan looking down at me going, crap. You know, that stuff sucks. You do it badly. Your Greek work sucks. And toenails. Toenails it is. And his toe is way too long here. Like I said, they've got it anatomically straight, so. Okay, we're also going to put another Kraken arm up there. So maybe that's what's happening. Where's the papyrus? What is he doing? I don't even understand. Let's not do that. Sometimes you draw things and it's like, well. So the Kraken. Something like this. Yeah, well. We'll come back in and fix this later. Right? Make it look better. Okay. So now when we pull out that, we've got this. Which is pretty cool. It has a certain Cthulhu vibe going for it. Here we'll put a straight line right here. Kind of like the idea that the Kraken's kind of coming out of the straight line. That's funny. Well, you should probably make sure it's straight because it's not. See how not straight that was? Yeah. Perfect. And then we look at this one. We've got kind of, it's like gravel or rock or something that they're standing on. So we'll come back and put gravel or rock on it. Now we got to look up the walls of Troy. We have to kind of figure out what the walls of Troy looked like. Because, of course, this is a scene, right? So we're doing the whole scene thing. I seen that. I know I should be banned. Yeah. Which I think is the entire point of what Lao Kun was trying to say was, hey, like, you know, that horse thing, probably bad. All right. Yeah, Geek Tank tonight. We have a special guest. Special guest tells us about talking about haunted houses. So they're a haunter. The horse looks like a brony. That's right. We'll fix it in post. Okay, let's make sure we've covered all the elements he wants. Okay, looks like I've covered all the elements he wants. It's all right. We'll save as not in the Changlei file. Okay. Horsey. This is one of my funny jokes that I play for my kid and I when we're doing when we're playing chess. I always go after his knights. And I'm like, can I have your horsey? Can I have your horsey? So now I did that when he was really little or littler, and now I do that all the time, and it's pretty funny. And now we do it all the time together because we're goofy. All right. Sent off and done. Now it's time to do star maps. Okay, it's not. Oh, come on. That was funny in my head. And really, honestly, that's all that's important. Right? Is that it's funny in my head. All these things are funny in my head, and I get to die again. Yay. Okay. What am I doing? Where am I? Who are you people? Right. Yeah. Okay. I was somewhere doing something. There we go. I'm like, why can't I find the thing I was looking for? We were working on a re-up of the character design with Chang. In her service uniform. And I wanted to go through and finish that off. So, okay. And like talk about a little bit about what's going on with Chang's service uniform here. We got all of her color codes here. And I actually was really pleased with. So there was a complete thinking process redo with this. So, for example, I had brought up the maquettes here. I've got a couple of more left to draw. And I don't think I want her in angry mode. She looks too, I don't know, creepy. I don't know. But the key here that's really cool about the maquettes is I went through and changed the pose of this maquette. So I started to realize that the reason that my characters lack life is because the poses that come out of Daz Studio by default are human normal poses. Like they're the normal poses that you and I would pose in a normal day, but comic books the characters in comic books don't pose that way. They don't pose normally. They're extended, they're stretched further. So I actually went and I took the maquettes and I pushed them. Right, I pushed them further. I stretched out their pose. I messed with all kinds of stuff, and I pushed it, and I liked it a whole lot better. We're actually going to replace that with this one. I like this one better. So we pushed it further. I like that. I like that a whole lot. So we're gonna. Not only are these maquettes super, super modified now, I'm swearing I'm seeing snowflakes. I'd rather have this picture down here anyway. It fits better in this spot, and she looks nicer. So we're going to take, I can't tell whether I'm seeing snowflakes or whether I'm seeing there we go, deselect. Open that back up and put you under here where you're supposed to be. Today is one of those days where it's right on the edge, man. Could snow at any minute, sort of thing. You know? All right. This one's also better because it shows a little bit more of the devices and things like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back in and get our crow quill for this. We're just going to I was talking yesterday about how I'm trying to get over the fact that I'm using maquettes. And the truth is, the maquettes are keeping me straight, but more importantly, I have modified these maquettes so much now, they are no longer Daz Studio maquettes. These are most definitely mine. I have edited and worked on the maps, and I have changed and altered everything, and I have no snow showing for Lakewood. Yeah, I know. We're at like 2 degrees Celsius out there. It's 2 degrees Celsius, cloudy. I mean, it's like just asking for snow, right? So, I mean, it's not snowing, but it had threatened earlier today. Which is funny because, of course, I promptly send my kid off. And he's like, but what if it snows? And I'm like, then you walk in the snow. I used to do that all the time. Why are you having a problem with this? You know? I like our freckles got a little overzealous there. Doodle doo. We're supposed to get rain, and which, you know, weird. I don't know what to do with rain in November. I don't think I remember rain in November ever. I mean, I know we've had rain in November. I just don't know how to deal with it. But truthfully, rather have rain than snow sometimes. But once we get into winter, I start to kind of feel like, shouldn't it be snowing? Then I have to go for a walk to keep myself, healthy and not dead. And I'm like, why did I ask for this? Why? Why did I do this to myself? These are the long things that I do to myself.
It's time to take a quick break.
We're between drawings here, so we'll take a break in a second. Okay, see you in a second. Right, Ghost Hand? Totally agree. My wife is absolutely covered in freckles. What's even funnier is I have, like, we've talked about this before. My like pseudo adopted Japanese daughter, whom comes over and hangs with us a lot, and she one time was seeing me draw this character, and she's like, I thought she was Asian. And I said, yeah, she's Asian. She goes, Asian people don't have freckles. In like a surety that only a teenager could possibly ever do. She just was like, Asian people don't have freckles. I'm like, okay. And she was so sure of it. She was like, just like that. It cracked me up. She was hysterical. She still is hysterical, just not here. But I don't know I agree with you, Ghost Hand. I don't know what people's problem is with freckles. I think they are the cutest things on the planet. I mean, I am biased. My wife has a ton of freckles, and so does my kiddo. They both are all full of freckles. When my wife was a kid, they called her Pippi Longstocking because she had so many freckles, and she would put her hair in pony or in pigtails, So she was often called Pippi Longstocking for all the freckles she had. And it's really funny too, because like I really don't. And of course, like all people who have a thing, she got really uncomfortable about it. Yep. Oh yeah, I think it was pretty funny that I mean it is absolutely true, but the person whom in my life is most predisposed to making really interesting stereotypical statements is that kiddo of mine, because she gets shocked, like her worldview gets shook, and you can like see her kind of, her eyes get really big, she can't figure out what to do, sort of thing, when she finds out, because I showed her Lucy Liu, who not only is very, very Asian, but also has a ton of adorable freckles. And she was just thunderstruck. She was like, I didn't know that could happen. I thought that we couldn't get freckles and stuff. And I was like, yeah, well, anybody can. I mean, but I mean, and of course, the freckles on our dear Captain Chang is a nod to my wife. I'm just saying. Generally, I see Captain Chang as a mirror of me in a lot of ways. Not all of them. Not her broken stuff, but like her personality and her character and things like that. Being a little bit jovial and a little bit carefree and stuff like that. To be kind of like where I am in the world, but I added attributes of, all kinds of stuff in here. Like I added attributes of my wife and things like that, which makes some sense. I mean, the attribute of being Asian is just simply because I feel like Asians are underrepresented. So I picked Asian for the captain because I thought it was cool. I'm also very embedded in the local Asian community. So, I mean, to be fair, I've heard a lot from the Asian community about that. So, a lot of this is trying to give some representation to Asians. And I'm connected pretty deeply to the Japanese culture. So, more of the East Asians than the South Asians. That's my own little personal bias, though. I know it. I mean, legitimately, I am more connected to Japan, China, and that kind of area than I am to India. But it also means that I can speak a little bit better to the East Asian culture than I can to the South Asian culture. Certainly doesn't mean I have any problems with South Asian culture, clearly. I mean, that's silly. Why would you have problems with Southeast Asian culture, but yeah. Anyway, so that's the reasoning behind why we have Cochrane and now Chang, who is Cochrane, but with a funny hat. It's interesting because when I was creating these characters, here's her service patch. I think someday somebody should print their uniform out and it'll have the wrong service patch. And they'll be like, oh, wait, hey, you printed the wrong service patch, on the printer for their clothes. And they'll be like, you printed the wrong service patch. What's going on? And the processor will be like, no, we printed the correct service patch. And you'll be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And that's when they find out that they've been transferred. Really? I've confused myself here. There we go. So I think that'd be interesting. It's like, you printed my uniform wrong. And nope, we didn't. All right. I'll put the caveat out that we all know that I can certainly. So for this revision, I've added this dart that goes through the front of the uniform, which I like. The dart makes it look like the uniform is conformed to the front of the chest to make a side piece and a front piece that all assembles together. You can see that out of the uniforms in Star Trek because that's the way that the jumpsuits are all built, so that they've got conformity around the chest that conforms around the breasts, but doesn't crush them. And it also isn't super loose and weird, and it looks much more professional and clean. And so I've added those darts to this, and I've got to admit, I really like the darts. I like where they are and how they look. So I'm thinking I will add that to my maquettes on there for the darts to make them conform better. It's not going to be as dramatic for Chang. She doesn't have a very big chest, so it's not like she's going to be. But I mean, Bennett has a much larger chest, so she's those darts are gonna be much more apparent. And this piece over here, I don't even know if I really need it. It doesn't look as good. So I'll just keep this one piece here. And we'll We'll keep this one, and then I'll turn those off. All right. What'd you do? Oh, noes. What I did was just go through, and I've got to make a new color unit for this. So I removed everything that was on there but this little picture right here, so that I can do this and just add these two together. And that way, this is the ink line, this is the color line, and we can just take the color and we just grab this and do the flats, which is what we're doing at this moment. Wow, you didn't grab. There we go. Grab the flats, right? And that's all we're doing here is just grabbing the flats on this and going through and putting in the curve. Here we go again. 30-second wait. You're watching me. You're not watching this. There we go. We're still waiting on our 30 seconds, but that's all right. There's something about Phil, like Phil, the person Phil. There's something about like the fill tool that causes these weird waits. I'm not sure what's going on. But it's Clip Studio. It's locking up. You see, now it's doing the, oh God, I just realized I'm locked up. Then it comes back, and then it does all the things you just told it not to do. Right? I don't know what that's about. Come on. Okay, another 30-second wait. This is really getting old, guys. And like I said, it's just Clip Studio. Now, maybe interface with, we'll do this with the, there we go. Now that we've done that, we'll have to go in, and it's something with the pen. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, yes, I have a lot of things going on. I grant. But for example, yeah, see, then it does this radical, it does all the commands you just did all at once. And I'm kind of wondering whether this is something to do with the pins. Have I not charged my pins enough? You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and put the other pin on the charger and start charging it. I don't know. I mean, I wonder, but I mean, I do have 32 gigs of RAM. I mean, it's not like I don't have a lot of RAM. And though Clip Studio is a hog, I expect this behavior out of Photoshop. I don't expect this behavior out of Clip. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, not only that, we've done something else now, haven't we? Yeah, that's what we did. Jeez. It's like coloring everything. So I don't know. I mean, it might be RAM. It might be not having enough available RAM to. It might be just going through the pipeline being a problem. I don't know. I don't know what's causing it. But it seems to happen only on the fill tool, which the fill tool is a hog. It's always been a hog. It's always acted like a hog. That's what the fill tool does. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. The fill tool hogs a lot of RAM. So that could be it. Wow. Here we go. For her eyes, this is a very little bump. Doesn't show a whole lot. However, it works. It's funny how adding these just adds life, like in a big hurry. There we go. That works really well to just bring life to things. Right? I'm going to go ahead, go in here to the black. Raise the brush size. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So much fun to watch people put in shadows. Right. Boy, aren't you glad that you tune into my show to watch me do shadows. Appreciate that. Shadows are better than star maps. We're just saying. There we go. Doing that. We're just putting in the rough design. And put in a new raster layer, and we say overlay, and we just let it be white. Nothing there. Hello. All right. Here we go. So we're just kind of looking at, for this benefit, what we're doing here, all we're doing is just giving a rough area, right? I'm going to go back in and clean all this up. I just want to know, we're talking about like parts of this character here that need to be lit up, just a little bit like this and a little bit like so, just kind of get an idea of what's going on here. I kind of like putting this in the light up here so that you can see it, because that's what's part of what's going on here is this, right? And like I said, we're going to come back in here in a bit and clean this up. But right now, we're just kind of going through and just targeting areas that we know that need light, right? And the light works really well to kind of give sort of dimension to the characters. Like now we kind of see the shape of the front of this uniform and stuff like that. All right, go there, we'll hit there, go like this. I don't know where I'm hitting with the light on this one, right? Maybe her entire this side of her face is lit up. In which time we'll have to come back through and kind of clean that up, but that works, right? Oh, hey, George, come here. Come here. Come here. Did you want scritches or not? You're so indecisive. George does not wish to join us today. Or maybe he does, but wishes to join us on his own time. Okay. So I kind of feel like this next step is what I call sculpting the light, sort of, right? Because we want to kind of come in here and hit all the parts that look like they are lit up on her, right? So now we can kind of go back in with an eraser and kind of take out that part that doesn't need to be lit up, right? Right, kind of like this. Because I'll go with the light is all along this section of her head. But I'm not going to go with it. It's on her nose tip because that makes, make shadows are much better than star charts. Oh, man. I'm going to have to come back in here and do star charts just to make you go, no! I'm just kidding. I won't. But I am humored that this has become a thing. It's going to be our discussion forever. I'm going to have to have the character. It's like stuck in navigation all the time going, oh, God, not more star charts. Why do I always get stuck with star charts? Name that character Brent. It's my Brent character. He's stuck in navigation, always doing star charts. No. Morning, Colton. How you doing? We're talking about star charts and, torturing Brent and stuff. I'm not exactly sure how we got here, but we got here somehow. So, there we go. Maybe I'll do this. Ghost Hand's here too somewhere. Haven't seen him in a while, but I know he's still here. Still hanging with us. Okay, so with this, I'm trying to get right up on this temple. The front of the face has a plane here and then planes here. So I'm trying to define that plane right through here, right? Now, obviously, her hair part's not going to be part of it, so we got to kind of go that way. And then define that front part of the plane, right? And it's going to kind of go with her cheekbones are really high. She's Asian. So I'm going to push up quite a bit on that, right? And like cut back around here. Now we've done the amazing parts, we can cut back a little. Want to leave that zone right through here. What is it with you? You summoned me. You still summoned me. George fundamentally cannot leave a trash can upright. He can't. It drives him crazy. He has to knock over all the trash cans in the house. It's gotten to the point where the kitchen trash, we rotate it sideways so that it's wedged between the wall and the microwave, because otherwise he will get up on the microwave and dive into the trash can to knock it over. And it's like, leave it alone, cat. goofy ass cat. He got into something this morning. I heard something crash, but I haven't found anything out of order. So I think he got it in my kiddo's room. Whatever it was, came down in the kids' room because kids' room is such a disaster. I can't tell if anything's gone wrong in there. So, oh boy. So when I feel down on myself for using maquettes, remind me how much effort I put into shading and shadows without the maquettes. Because I'm not even using a single maquette here. I'm just working through what is logical on her face and all of the logical designs. And they remind me that I'm not goofy. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's very normal in that instance. It is definitely his thing about, like, but Dad, why do I have to clean my room? Well, because mostly, son, right now it's a hazard to walk across your room. I'm just saying. Okay. Still, I'm not sure about that. Like, I feel like that's too much light from the rim light. But that's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there somehow. By the way, the easy way to deal with all of this is to click this, and then we say apply, turn off the apply to connected pixels only, and then click like that. And as long as we've colored everything properly, then we can go into the multiply layer and delete, and then go into the overlay layer and delete, and then hit deselect. And all of the splash over that occurred everywhere is gone. So that's how I do flatting and everything. I mean, flatting is just a fill function, but when I'm doing light and shadow on here, the big thing I like to do is just to do that, because then all I have to do is just kind of splash light all over the place. I've seen people do it the other way, where they take the magic wand tool and they select everything. Well, they go onto this layer, deselect, and they select everything like this, then hit Control Shift I to invert the selection. And then you can take, and when you do, you can draw back and forth and back and forth and back and forth like this, and it won't go anywhere past the selection, right? The reason I don't do that is mostly because for me, I get distracted by the little ants going around everything, and you can hide them, but once you hide them, they're gone, and then you can't tell whether you did it or not. So I prefer to go the other direction. There's not a right way or a wrong way on that. That's just a technique. So anyway, that's a thing. So I feel like maybe part of the problem really is her cheek down there, which is fine. I don't mind spending some extra time on this. Whoa, what are you doing? Who are you? You're not my real dad. Okay. There we go. more like maybe this look here. And that might be part of my problem. And that is part of my problem because that looks awesomer. So I think a lot of it has to do with what definition of her face I'm using there for that fill light. Yeah, it's a preference thing. You want to hop on? You can hop on if you want over there, Colton. I don't know. I mean, you may not want to, and that's totally cool. We only have about 20 minutes left of the show, but you are absolutely welcome if you are so inclined. I'm just going to go in here and on the overlay layer, I'm just going to, because I think that's our problem. Look at that. That looks a whole lot better. So clearly my problem here was involved in how much of her face should be in this bright white light, because that looks actually pretty kick butt. So that's cool. You're welcome at any time. I mean, we'll still make fun of you as normal, because why wouldn't we, right? Tomorrow morning sounds good. I'm probably going to try to work on commissions all week. So I may or may not get back into 3D. We'll have to see. Today was working on the beginning of a commission. And tomorrow I'm going to start working for Airship 27 on their commissions. So I feel like that'll be cool. So I may be non-3D, but that doesn't mean you can't join me and keep me company. Right? I can bring the 3D. Okay, that's funnier than it needs to be. Everything's funnier than it needs to be in my world. Stop. Maybe, or does it just did I just make her have a milk mustache? She'd been drinking milk. Oh, gotcha. You meant commissions. I don't know. I kind of like that. Bring the 3D. You could do the dance. I got to see Raph at Fan Expo. It only took me I think 40 minutes to find Raph, even though he put his table number out on Facebook. Their numbering system at Fan Expo was so screwed up that I ended up wandering aimlessly for a long time. Yeah, I mean, because they were aggravated, they were annoyed, they didn't make any money. They made zero money all weekend. Nobody could find them. They were they were saying the population felt like an anime con and less like a comic con. I think definitely though, Raph should be at Wicked West. I hope that he is, because that is definitely supposed to be a Comic Con, and it's supposed to be a small published Comic Con, and I'm going to be at Wicked West. So definitely think he would do better there, because he's got 12 issues of Pia now, or something ridiculous. I mean, he has a lot going on, and it's so cool, and he's so far down the line there. I just feel like that's weird. So Wicked West is going to be up in Fort Collins. Not all the way up to Fort Collins. There's a weird, I want to say a convention center. You go past Firestone, you go past Longmont, And on the other side, yeah, like near Loveland-ish on 25. So you're heading up 25 towards Fort Collins. And then there's this spot where they've got like all of these pavilions and like it looks like a mall is there. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a mall is really what it looks like. It looks like a random mall out in the middle of nowhere, situated around 25. And it's being run by Todd Jones. And Todd's already got like all the stuff rigged and everything like that. It's really cool. But I think that's a good place for. He's going to try to stick all of us in the same spot. Todd's going to try to stick all the, RTG/RTG adjacent folks in the same spot so that we're all easy to find. And I'm like, aw, that's awful nice of you. And I think I want to say it's April. Which means that I will have a couple of issues of Bellatrix Rising to sell, which will be great. Because if we can get into April, we'll be ready by then. And we'll have other things like blueprints, and we'll have maybe even 3D models of the Kittiwake ready, and stuff like that. So yeah, April 2nd and 3rd. Thank you, Colton. But that gives me Wicked West Con is going to be like my first real legit show where I'm going to have Bellatrix Rising deployed for the show. So I'm hoping that's where we are at that point. That's what I'm looking forward to doing. So and it's going to be kind of fun. I think I'm looking forward to that show. Okay. That sounds fair to me. Brent, I'll definitely do that. Although I'm kind of pondering printing them as well. I don't know. I mean, that's something that, people with more experience than me kind of need to figure out. How much should I sell a 3D printed Kittiwake about yay big? A mini Kittiwake. I should put landing gear on it, so it's like you can sit on your desktop. Then we can primer them or we can paint them in different wild colors. I think I would rather do that. Remember back in the day when we had all of those like toys that were what we could do is get like transparent resin so that the resin is like a Kittiwake. A Kittiwake is a type of seabird. So my kiddo likes cats. So I was looking through a seabird names of seabirds like seagull, albatross, things like that. That's cool. So I was looking at names and I came across Kittiwake, which is Kittiwake. So it's like the wake, of a ship. And I assume that's where the name comes from. But I liked the sound of it, and I told my son the name, and he was all about that name, and he thinks it's the coolest name that has ever been invented. And so it's stuck. So the ship is the Kittiwake. It's a type of seabird. And the class of Corvette is the Seabird class. So Okay, cool. I was thinking like this big, like brooches, or not brooches maybe, but certainly, I don't know, something fun. I just think that'd be fun. We'll make that up at some point in time, taking the existing model, and then we'll glue everything together, and then make one Blender file that's super detailed, where I've got all the panel lines on it and everything like that. And then with all the windows put in and all of that. And that'll be a special Blender file with thicker landing gear, so that the landing gear will print without breaking off and stuff like that, so that we can make, little small sized kittywigs. And then maybe sell them for like $3 or $4. If we can put like 4 or 5 of them on a bed and print them, then we could sell them for like $4 or $5, and it'd be a cute little like $3 extra widget, Time to head back to work, Brent. See you later. It's good chatting with you. Anyway, so the long and the short of that whole thing is, boy, I'm having fun kind of painting here and in these colors, which is funny because, of course, this is not in fact like the world's best. So let's go ahead and grab some of this color and put it along the outside of her hair right here. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, we'll see whether it turns out that we do good there or not. But I feel like Wicked West is what I'm headed for, as far as the convention that I'm working towards actually being at. That actually looks pretty kick-ass. I'm all proud of this. So like, wow, that looks pretty cool. So anyway, I mean, like once I put all the little highlights in her hair, she actually looks pretty cool. Okay, let's go back out on the multiply layer and let's kill this shadow right here because we don't need it. And this shadow. We'll just make it kind of go with there. That's what we want right there. We'll go here. We're just smoothing out this line, right? Just kind of making it smoother here so it follows the contour of her body better. I'm going to need to add on this side right here. There we go. I feel maybe we'll need to come back in here at some point and deal with the patch. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But here's this highlight, right? So we're going to take this highlight. We're going to run all along the back here. Because whatever this light is, it's moving along the back of her too. So even though we've got this shadow through here, we really want to like highlight this. because that bright light that's shining on her face is also going to shine through here. Shine a light on me, let the midnight special. Okay. And that is one of the creepier scenes in Twilight Zone the movie. I'm just saying. Twilight Zone the movie, despite its horrific filming problems, was a great example of a horror movie that didn't need to be horror-y by having jump scares. So I actually kind of like it. I wish more people would do that. Fewer jump scares. I don't need them. Colton's probably like, I like jump scares. And I'm like, you know what? You can you can like them all you want. I don't. Not always. Good. I'm not the only crazy. I actually I can't deal with it. It is it is anxiety inducing. And when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, my friends thought that it was funny to take me to movies that had jump scares and not tell me. Because, you're kids and kids do stupid crap. And they were like, no, oh God, this is legitimately anxiety inducing for him. I'm like, I told you. I'm so upset now. It was really sad. So, okay, so let's be logical about this. This goes like this and goes like that. Right, that way it's kind of under here, going that way, but it isn't logical for it to go over here. That doesn't make any sense. So we'll do that and do that. The entire chest line is going to be straight across like so. And I think I'm going to give like a divot for this this dart on the costume. Yeah. And you know what? It's totally cool. I keep saying there are so many movies in our culture and things to see that if I just avoid horror for the most part, unless somebody can say I've already watched this movie and it has no jump scares, but it's really horrible, like it horror, because I really do enjoy like the horror movies where you're like watching something horrible go down. I don't think that's what I want. Like what's a good example of something that's like they were doing that really well with Walking Dead for a very long time, and I'm not sure whether they've gotten over it or not because I haven't seen it in a while. But they were doing a really good job with Walking Dead by having The Walking Dead be all about, like the story, like they keep saying all the time with Walking Dead that the monsters are not the zombies, and that's kind of cool. Yeah. And I mean, on the other, I also enjoy makeup. I love, gory makeup and stuff like that. I think that's fascinating. It's an incredible, incredible genre with a lot of great stuff going for it. But I can't deal with jump scares. Anxiety inducing, it's just too much anxiety for me. So that's all right. And so what happens is I let Troy watch his anxiety inducing movies. And I don't.
And then he says, "That was a good movie. Here is the whole plot." Thanks. Cool. That works. He's like, "Wasn't that interesting? Let's discuss it." And that works just fine. I don't have any problem with that. And I also feel like he watches movies and something will jump out and he'll go, "Yeah, this isn't safe for a guy." I think that's even funnier to think about that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, he wanted me to watch Cabin in the Woods because it was a very interesting trope breaker. It broke all the tropes and intentionally kind of hung out in the tropes. And at the time, we were big fans of Joss, so we watched. He wanted me to watch it. So what he did was he took notes of where all the jump scares were, and then when they came up, he would tap me, and I would look down at my popcorn like this, and then the jump scares wouldn't get me, and it was really cool. And I was like, "Oh man!" And so he was really big on that, and it meant that I could watch that movie without anxiety because anytime something was about to jump out, I knew he would have tapped me if something was about to happen. So that was really cool. So yeah, that's what friends are for. That's a friendship thing. Because he was like, "You got to go see this movie," and I'm like, "I'm not seeing it. I know that the whole movie is about tropes, and so I know darned well if it's tropes, it's going to be jump scare after jump scare after jump scare." And so he was like, "No, I wrote them all down and what time they're at and everything in this notebook. So we'll just go and I'll tap you with every." And I was like, "Wow, that was really cool." So, all right. I think that picture looks awesome, personally. We'll take one last look. I think that picture looks really cool. I'm very proud of that. The lighting on her face is pretty kick butt. So, anyway, I'm all proud of the lighting on her face. I'm easily entertained. Okay, Colton, it's about time for you to get ready to go to work. And I will see if you want to join me tomorrow, please do. I might still be working on commissions and stuff like that, but I would love to see you. So if you want to join me, let's do that. And it was good to have you here, Ghost Hand. It was good to have Brent here when Brent was here. And I will see you guys tomorrow as well if you wish to join me. And for everyone else who's watching and all the people out there, remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye. Computer, good night.